Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ and back-to-back interviews this afternoon. That's the way we love to do it. And I've been here a little bit over a month, and it's been nice getting in the swing of interviews. And we're talking with Brandon of Atreyu. And Brandon, how you doing, man? It's nice to meet you after all these years of listening.
Oh, dude, it's great, man. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. And we were joking before we got rolling. And I was at some point I want to bring up with you how long I'd kind of been a fan for and talked about Linkin Park Project Revolution tour of '08 when I first saw you guys. Years ago, there was a Donkey Kong. I remember there was Donkey Kong on stage with you guys pounding away. Somebody had a Donkey Kong puppet. I don't know if you remember that or not, but
sounds about right though.
Okay, there's a photo on my Facebook somewhere from years and years ago, unless it's been deleted by Zuck at some point. I have no idea.
Right, that's funny. Donkey.
But, yeah,
I love it.
All right. If it comes to you throughout the interview, just be like, oh, I remember that. But if not, it's all good. I'll see if I can never find the photo for you. But man, you talked about, you guys joked 25 years, seriously, 25 years.
Next year. Yeah. Flies, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
It's crazy. Like, do you ever let that sink in, or kind of just the feelings of that overall?
You know, there's a weird thing where I feel like our band now almost feels sort of like we did back then. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that just feel really new and really exciting to us right now. So sometimes it's a bit lost on us until someone reminds us. And then you're like, oh shit. Like it's like, damn, like it's a cool thing. I mean, there's not a lot of bands in our genre that can say the same thing. Like I've been a band for 25 years next year. I've done this my whole life. My whole adult life. I turned 18 on the road, and it's like it's a beautiful thing that we're still kicking. You know,
it is. I know you mentioned you guys sound fresh. Obviously, you know it's a few years since Alex has been in the band. You guys had COVID to deal with for like 2 years, so you know that freshness, does it kind of reinvigorate you guys? Kind of out on the road, in the studio, kind of just everything in general.
Absolutely, I think that I think there's just like one, COVID gave, I think, everyone in the world the opportunity to kind of like whatever they wanted to be doing, do it better, and whatever they didn't want to be doing, figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that offered us kind of a lot of time to really like figure out our next steps carefully. And I think that now there's just there's a confidence and a sort of camaraderie and just like respect in our band that we just seem to be operating on a higher level than we've ever been before. And it's a good feeling for sure.
Awesome. Well, it's cool. I got to see you guys back in 2021. You guys hit the road with Non-Point, Tetrarch, and Another Day Dawns. And it was great to see you guys. It was great to see you guys back in 2008. It was great to see you guys in 2021 and hear, how much the catalog had expanded and everything else. And more music.
Funny, that was our first tour back from COVID and first tour with this lineup. And I got to tell you, I mean, it was funny because we were still kind of getting the kinks out on that one, and it's a different monster these days. So, I urge people that whether you're new to the band or you've been with us for a long time, it's a fun time to pay attention to this band. I would have to say.
Yeah. So get out again, like you said, you kind of working kinks out, things like that, and there's different things that sound in my ears, but I'm like, they sound really good live. There's obviously things that I have to get over, as a fan and really. Okay, maybe this doesn't sound like it did back 13 years ago, but there's a reason for that. And the new stuff, I mean, it sounds great. Watch Me Burn is out, and it's the new single. But before we even like dive into the EP, before we even dive into the new single, you guys have also released Drowning. How much fun have you guys had making these two videos for Watch Me Burn and Drowning? Because I feel like the Beastie Boys were really good putting comedy in their music videos, and I love when bands and rock bands, metal bands don't take themselves too seriously when it comes to a video. I laugh my ass off with these videos. How much fun did you guys have doing?
I mean, it's been quite the ride. We kind of came to this, kind of had an aha moment where we tend to write these pretty serious songs for the most part, with pretty like intense subject matter and intense lyrical content, and felt would be a bit of redundancy to just like make the video match. It's like too much down, and I feel like we really wanted to just open up and show people who we are, and not have any sort of like guard or gate on that, and just let it rip, so to speak. And, in doing that, it was like videos, like we're idiots. We are 5 off the wall, just like idiots all the time. And I think some of the dudes in our band are really funny. And it was one of those things where, you know, it's our poor manager. It's like, you know, we're on the bus after a show, you know, handful of cocktails deep and some other things deep maybe, and start just throwing around ideas. And then he goes to management, and then all of a sudden we're making the video, and I'm like, I'm flirting with old ladies in a pool and throwing my daughter in the pool, and I have fake abs painted on my stomach, and like we're getting like set on fire. Like the Watch Me Burn video was hilarious because we kept seeing videos, you know, and not to smash these bands, we kept seeing videos where it's like, cool rocker metal band, warehouse, fire, look how fucking cool we are.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why don't we flip that on its head? And it just turned out ridiculous. It's fun to have your drunk ideas come to life.
And I've heard you scream multiple times live, like being able to
sound
hear
like it does in the video.
Being able to hear you scream and really growl and get into it. But man, dude, your shrieking scream, I gotta commend you. If anybody has ever seen a spider in a movie where they freak out, dude, they got nothing on you on that.
If there's any Foley artists out there that need a woman, a shrieky, scared woman, I got you covered.
And I was going to ask you too, with drowning, be like, did you know the kid you threw in the pool? I kind of figured it was like, maybe it's an actor, but that's your own daughter that you threw.
Yeah, both the kids. The girl I threw in the pool is my oldest, Piper, and then the other girl with the Cheetos all over her face is my youngest daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. Funny thing is, she took control of that whole video. We did it like 7 or 8 times. She all made us do this clap thing to make sure we were focused before we hit action. Like, she was very into it.
So your kids are running your life already.
100%. My kids are destined for stardom. They're crazy.
And they're already starting music videos. But no, if nobody has watched the videos out there, I mean, the songs are great. Again, like you said, the songs are serious, but the amount of fun that you guys had in the video, you can't help but smile with it. So Watch Me Burn's the new single. It's a song that we're getting added this week. We're going to do some features on it this week as well. And
thank you.
Always kind of leave it open to the bands, because I always like to get something on the song. Kind of what do you want to share about this song? I know it's reading a lot of like Phoenix Rising from the Ashes. It seems like it's kind of fitting for what you guys have gone through as a band the last couple of years. Seems really fitting. But what do you want to share about it?
I mean, it's funny because I mean, in essence, it's self-explanatory. Where it's kind of like you said, it's Phoenix Rising from the Ashes. It's a middle finger in the air type of song, but at the same time, there's a vulnerability to it, because I feel like, you know, if you're at a place in your life where you have things that are making you unhappy, or things that you know aren't the right thing, burning them into dust and starting over is horrifying. So it's one of those things is that I think a lot of times when you take a leap of faith, it's the scariest thing, but it's the best thing you can do. And it's like Watch Me Burn is such a double-edged sword of like, watch me soar into the stratosphere and do what you never thought I could, or like, watch me crash and burn. But the reality is that the action is the same. The leap of faith is the same regardless. And it's like, there's a strength in that I think is really important in the song for people to understand. But really it's like am I okay to cuss on this? I already,
you're good. You're okay. Let it rip.
Oh, there goes my phone again.
And you were letting your phone.
It's a fuck you song. You know what I mean? To me, it's like that we're a band that's never gotten handed anything. You know, we've had to fight tooth and nail. And even to this day, you know, the internet is full of wonderful people that love to give their unasked for opinions and all these things. But it's like, okay, like, go fuck yourself. Watch, hold my beer. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one of those attitudes that I think this day are important to have. I think confidence is a huge thing that people should find what they believe in and find what they believe that they're good at and their strong suits and run with them. I'm
with you. I mean, and this genre, like, again, you and I are pretty similar in age. You know, I grew up listening, you know, a lot of nu metal. It was huge when I was a kid. There was very much an edge, kind of a fuck you to it in that whole nu metal movement, a lot of it. So it's nice that I don't feel like we have that as much right now in the genre. So I'm glad that you guys are kind of bringing that in.
But also, too, we're nice guys. So it's like a kindly go fuck yourself. Kindly, with a smile, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, if you've seen the videos, it's life and interpreting art here. So, but I know you guys, the EP's coming out shortly. Drowning, Watch Me Burn are out already. You know, you guys are an album band. you haven't, I know you guys haven't done an EP for a while. So kind of what was the reasoning for maybe doing an EP? Is it these 4 songs kind of all fit together really well? Kind of what was the decision to go the EP route? I know, and obviously things in the industry are so much different now today too.
Yeah, I think that just digestibility is a little bit tough these days. And I think we have a really like important story to tell. And I think that we found it best to kind of dose it in more digestible pieces so that people can really understand each step. And I think that the hope of a spark is sort of the beginning. It is the absolute zero sort of point of the human condition where you're completely lost and just hoping for something to steer you in some sort of direction, some sort of answer in a vast sky of questions sort of thing. And it's like, for us, it's a great starting point.
Okay. Is this something that you guys think you're going to want to do from here on out, or kind of the EP route? Or is it like, hey, we'll kind of do what we feel needs to be done?
Exactly. We've always been that band where we've just done what we felt. Obviously you can hear it in our music, and we've never really followed a strict formula. We've always just gone with our guts and gone with our hearts. And right now it feels amazing. And I think that we're going to feel things out and just kind of continue to do things that feel right to us.
Awesome. So again, a couple songs out now, and is it nice to really just give each song kind of its own attention? You guys have, obviously you've done a video with water. I meant to ask you this when we were chatting about fire and water, everything else. Are we going to have earth and wind be part of any other music videos for the EP as well? You guys kind of hitting on every element here on planet Earth.
This should start the fan fiction right now. Start the speculations. It would be a pretty awesome theme if we did.
Mm-hmm.
Would be pretty awesome if we included all those. But yeah, I mean, it's those things have definitely crossed our mind.
Okay. All right. Maybe another drunken night.
We need to get back on tour, and it needs to be 2 a.m. on the bus. We'll figure out some more ideas.
Yeah. You guys are hitting the road here pretty soon. End of April. Again, I know you guys, you're the whole new, version of the, I don't want to say version of the band, because you guys have been all together for so long, but kind of the inception of this band, after COVID was your first run out there. Mm-hmm. Kind of how excited you guys to get, back out on the road. Like you said, you guys have fine-tuned things and mm-hmm. really found what you guys want to do. How excited are you guys to hit the road here? Well, we've got less than a month until you guys are.
Yeah, we're stoked, man. It's we kind of spent the better part of the last year, doing some support tours and really just kind of getting in front of some new faces. And that was the aim. And we, obviously that with that comes shorter sets, that comes less production, that comes less, pizzazz with the show. We're a band that's always wanted to just entertain to the fullest extent that we can. And so we're stoked to get out, play a longer headline set. We actually had a meeting the other day, and we're putting together the set list, and it was like, I was listening to it and it was like, I just kept laughing, because it was like one of those things where like, man, like these are all of our songs. Like this is a fucking beast of a set. So it just makes me excited to play it, finally bring some production out and have a proper set. And like I said earlier, it's like, it is a time, and I speak from a very genuine place when I say this, like whether you are an existing Atreyu fan, you've been with us for 25 years, or you're just hearing Watch Me Burn, and it's the first thing you've heard and you're interested, like, I think that it's a very important and special time to pay attention to this band right now, because I feel like what we're doing internally just feels so just inspired and so like on a level that it's never been before, that it's like I want to just share, so it's like if we're coming near you, go to a show. Like mm-hmm. if you'll hear the songs, but going to the show is like an extension of that you have to experience.
No, and I'm excited for you guys to get back out there. Everything else, because I've been a fan for 20 years, at this point, and all the way back to I think X's and O's being on Madden, like Madden 05 or something like that. I think that was like one of my first introductions to you guys. So again,
that's like in the set.
Yeah. So like when you said you're listening, man, these are all of our songs. Like, yeah, you kind of look back and was looking through our library the other day at the station of everything that's in there, and it's like, man, dude, we got stuff from Baptized from a couple of years ago, going back to X's and O's, Becoming the Bull. It's like, man, this is like high school for me. This is college for me. This is adulthood for me. So
I think it's
awesome.
a cool thing with a lot of our fans have really grown up with us, which is a wonderful thing. It's like we were all late teens going to shows, and now a lot of us together are, hi. Oh no, why are you sad? Do you want to come to Dad's interview? Hey. A lot of us are grown-ups now with our own kids, and they're still coming, and we're still all kind of in this together, which is wonderful.
Is she the Cheetos or the
She's the Cheetos, yes.
The Cheetos.
She's talking about how we saw you in my music video. Oh, she's shy.
She did awesome. I know if my dog wasn't sleeping, I'd be like, hey, you want to see my dog? That way you can I got a puppy. He's sleeping over here. He's sleeping over here in the corner of the couch. Right. So Brandon, before I let you go, man, it's a question I was asking a lot of bands a couple years ago. My last gig really was interested in getting people's perspectives on it. But like, when you go to shows, concerts, as just like a fan, what's an experience like for you? Because I'm a fan. Like I don't go and really be like, oh my God, like this is super technical or this is this. I just kind of go and just get lost in the music and enjoy it. But for you, man, nearly a 25-year career. I'm not saying that to make you feel old, but when you've been in the industry for 25 years, you've seen everything. But like when you go to shows as a fan, what's the experience like for you?
I mean, obviously when I was a kid, it was a different experience. It was much more rowdy, and which, it depends on the show. Like, it's funny because, like the last couple shows I've been to, we went and saw Bad Omens in Germany on this last tour. I went to see Slipknot, Nice Nine Kills, at home before that tour, kind of in the summer. I went to see Papa Roach and Hollywood Undead and Falling in Reverse some months back too. So for shows like that, I'm going, I want to have a good place to stand where I'm comfortable with a beverage, and I want to watch the show. I want to see the production. I want to hear how good it sounds. I want to see how the band's energy is on stage. That's what I'm looking at. But then there's other times where like there's a small record label from Orange County called Indecision Records. They put out like all of the favorite Orange County hardcore bands, Adamantium, Throwdown, Bleeding Through, all that stuff like that back in the day. And they're having like a 20-year anniversary show in July, where like a lot of the bands I grew up listening to are playing. I will be in that pit. I will be going ballistic like a 16-year-old kid, because that's just what's supposed to happen. So, but I love going to shows. Let's see what other bands are doing. Yeah. Yeah, you want me to help you? I gotta help her peel some of this sucker down. But yeah, I mean, I love see what other bands are doing, how bands are interacting with each other on stage, like what they're doing for production. Like I love just seeing what my peers are up to.
No, that's awesome. And this is great. Like doing video interviews now, like never would I a couple years ago have been able to have content like this coming in. Like I love when this kind of stuff happens. It's great.
It's so funny. Like I stream on Twitch. I was doing a lot during the pandemic. I still do sometime as well. And it was like all of my people that came to my Twitch, they all knew that sometimes my daughters come in. Yeah. And sometimes my wife comes in, and if my daughters comes in, the stream's probably over. But it was like everyone just knew. Everyone just knew how the deal went. This is real life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Brandon, I appreciate it, man. It's been, like I said, I've been a fan for 20 years at this point. It's great finally getting to meet you after all these years. Watch Me Burn, the single is out now. It's hitting radio stations. The Hope of a Spark, that's coming out soon, right?
April 16th, I believe. Yeah.
All right.
Coming up soon. Thank you for playing.
Yes.
Watch Me Burn.
Yes. Yeah. We're just a couple of weeks away from that EP being out as well. So Brandon Atreyu, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Thank you so much.